That's what I was looking for. Can you see the huge ball in the distance? That's what I was looking for. Really feels like you're in some sort of a park here in the city center. Really doesn't feel like any other city, but very nice actually. You're always wondering what's around the next corner, and main thing I want to do is go up the tower with the ball. There is snow, there are mountains of snow everywhere, but I have to tell you that I expected it to be much colder than that. It's minus 20 degrees according to the weather forecast, but it's not actually that bad. You know, when you hear minus 20, you're expecting the worst, but it's not as bad as I thought. Look at that. I might have to do some photography here. We're heading into that direction. And it's really banks like surrounding this square. It says bank on every building, or hotels or so. Really, so far I like this more than Almaty. Everyone in Almaty said, don't go to Astana. Astana is too cold. There are no people in the street. It's actually nice that there are no people in the street. Feels like you have the city for yourself. And this must be like a long square to all the way to the tower with the golden ball on top. That's where we are going. I understand now what they meant by artificial city. The area where I'm staying is a residential area, and it looks like a chess board, so it was probably constructed that way. And look at that, there's the mosque. But same as in Bishkek, it's a new mosque, but very impressive, huge building with a golden dome. We will visit that later, after we went to the tower with the golden ball. And the tower with the golden ball must overlook all of those squares here. So that should be worth going to. Somewhere here there must also be the presidential palace. So I guess that if you visit Astana, you will mainly hang out in this area. But true that there are no people. Like maybe in summer there are more, but I would highly recommend you to visit in winter. So far I'm amazed, and because of the snow, it actually feels very bright. There is like windows all around, and the snow reflects the sun, and it just feels like there is more sun here than in the other places I visited so far. Oh, those buildings. So that's unlike anything you would expect from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, at least in my country, most people associate Kazakhstan with the Borat movie, and that could not be further from the truth. We saw yesterday that in some other parts of the city it's not like that. In Almaty, I actually thought for 5 days that it's only fancy restaurants and coffee places, but I realized when I left for Almaty 1 for the train station where the inexpensive trains are leaving, that it's not at all only fancy. It has its old part and cheaper places. Same here. Yesterday when I arrived around the train station, it was also not as fancy as these places we are visiting now. We are slowly getting closer to the tower with the golden ball on top. It should be like 700 or so to visit the top of the tower. 700, that's less than €2. And yeah, I stay at the hostel for like €4. So here you can really stay without any money. They have all that art, all that artwork. Look at that, that's plastic bottles forming some kind of pavilion. Ice cream in summer probably. Those sculptures, they're all over the place. Before I also saw the circus, and there is an opera house. And on the third, I think there is Aida, Giuseppe Verdi opera. So I might go and do that. These are also things you can do in winter in Nursultan, Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan. I don't know what's on in the circus. There's something happening tonight, but it was written in Russian, so I'm not sure what. It is some kind of fight. Last night I saw an MMA fight on the television that's happening in Aktau. Maybe MMA is a thing here. I would love to see an MMA fight at some point. But yeah, before I was like, everyone said there are no people in Astana. Now I start understanding why they say that. There are people in the rest of the city, but there are no people here in the fancy parts of the city. Really wondering why. Some more sculptures here. They are covered by snow now. Another ice cream place also covered by snow. Whatever this is, it's a long square. So nice. We're getting closer to the tower. I will need an ATM before we get to the tower. I would also love to have another coffee. Fountain, all the fountains are turned off. I'm wondering how this would look like in summer. It's probably nice as well, but as I said, I love the snow. Everything white and reflecting the sun. Oh, someone fell. That's a thing here that you have to be careful. If you visit Nursultan in winter, you might slip easily. In Austria, where I'm from, they would put the stones everywhere and the salt to get rid of the ice and the snow and to make it less slippery. They don't do that here in Kazakhstan. In Nursultan, it's just slippery. Not where I'm walking now. It's kind of fresh snow, but in general it's slippery. Or once you notice that it's slippery, you're prepared. Look at that, and they're shoveling snow everywhere in the city. Everywhere they try to get rid of the snow. Getting closer to the golden ball. So yeah, again, I would definitely recommend to come to Nursultan in winter. Just bring some warm clothes, and it's really not as bad as I thought. I'm walking now for like an hour again, and there is no problem. I can probably, as long as I keep moving, it's not an option to sit around probably, but as long as you're moving, it's fine. People also told me that here in summer it gets really warm, gets up to 40 degrees, so big difference between winter and summer. I'm also wondering why, like not so far away in Aktau, for example, there it's around like 0 degrees Celsius. Here it's minus 20, getting closer. Weird buildings all around. Seems like another shopping center. So when you walk this square and you start where I started from, near the mosque, it will take you around like 15 minutes to reach the Golden Ball, just so you have an idea on the distance here. And there are fountains all around. There are fountains and mountains of snow. I think I will stay here for a bit, maybe a few days more. I booked 2 nights at the hostel, and that the hostel, it's like €4. I would have preferred to stay in a private room, but the private room would be 3 times more expensive. All over the square there are stairs, and there are also those ramps. So for handicapped people, it's also possible to walk, or with the cart for children. Almost there. Still need an ATM. Two golden towers in the background, and I think the one with the blue, I don't know if you can see it from here yet, the one with the blue, that should be the presidential palace. Before this city it was called Astana. Now the name is Nursultan because of the president. As far as I know, he passed away last year in 2019, and so the capital is called Nursultan now instead of Astana. A lot of ice cream, but these places are all closed. Yesterday I walked into a burger place, and the burger place still had ice cream while it was minus 20 degrees outside. I found that quite nice because I also like to eat ice cream any time of the year. So we're very close now to the Golden Ball. Traffic is a lot more organized here than it was in Almaty. In Almaty they would always try to drive when it was already or still red. So up there we will probably be inside the golden thing, inside the Golden Ball. Let's get closer, and then I will find an ATM before entering the building. I also hope that there is coffee up there. I always hope for coffee. Finding an ATM should not be a problem, as there are banks all around. All of these buildings say bank. This whole park also has something of a maze. You always have to go around things. You cannot just go straight. Stairs on the right and on the left. You have to walk around to reach the entrance of the golden ball. Look at those constructions. So this is probably gonna grow a lot more in the future. Guess there are government buildings around as well. Wow. Yes, on the other side it also seems like government building. There's some kind of symbol. There's a police station over there. Entrance. Here it says entrance. I have to walk around the building. I will walk all around to reach the entrance. Some information on the Baitarek monument, it's called. It's a symbol of Nursultan, capital of Kazakhstan. The idea behind the creation of this monument are deeply rooted in antiquity. It's the notion of the ancient nomads about the structure of the universe. It symbolizes the tree of life, uniting three pillars of creation, underground, terrestrial and celestial worlds. For citizens of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Baitarek is strongly associated not only with the capital but also with the entire country, which, while nourishing its historical roots, is looking towards a bright future. Opening date in August 2002, and it's 105 meters high. So I see you in the next video for a visit to the Baitarek Tower here in Astana, in Nursultan. Were probably the main thing to do, but really, if you're wondering, like everyone said, don't go to Astana, it's too cold. Well, it's not too cold, it's very okay. It's very interesting, those buildings. It feels nice. It also feels nice because there are no people in the streets. So far, everyone is super friendly, and I'm considering staying here for a bit longer. Maybe there is nothing else to do than climbing up that tower, but I think it's worth already hanging out here for a day or two or three. And I love the winter, the white. Everything is white and shiny, and yeah, that's what we will be doing here. See you soon.